What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at. Fat Thor Podcasts. I am one of your hosts, Andy Gunnin. The other host, Jody Cieutat, aka Midget Mafia. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, sir? Sitting here with my candle trying to warm up.
I got a little heater by my feet, but I didn't fire it up. It was only 27 degrees this morning here.
Yeah. I got here like 30 minutes earlier just to turn the heater on.
Yeah.
And it's still cold.
I'm in the garage. It's still go. I closed the door because the stepdaughter went to school and she left it open. So I closed it like an hour and a half ago and just turned on all the lights. So it worked out pretty good for me so far. I don't need the heater. Don't waste a little bit of propane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know?
A little expensive.
Yeah. I'm running out of little canisters. I got to refill them. I got to figure out how to refill them. I've got a little thing that you can take a big canister and refill it, but you put them in the freezer. And I'm like, I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah.
I bought it like a couple years ago just to be able to refill them because I've got a bunch of them from hunting. And I'm one of those guys, I don't like throwing away those metal containers. I just feel like it's a waste.
Yeah.
I feel like
especially when you know you can reuse them somehow.
And then somebody invented a thing you can, and I read how to do it. I just haven't done it yet, and I still got the adapter over there. So now I'm down to the point. So it's like I've got about 6 or 7 empties. So I'm like, okay, we got to try this and try not to blow myself up.
Yeah, it's always a plus.
So we didn't do a podcast last week because you were gone, and I said I was busy, and you were anniversarying it or whatever you were doing.
Yeah, we went up the Blue Ridge.
How was that?
Scary as crap.
Wow.
Well, see, we rented a cabin. I didn't think nothing about it. And halfway up there, they send me an email. It's preferable that you have a 4x4 or a pickup to get up there. We're in the Nissan Maxima.
Oh, so you get an email saying you need a 4-wheel drive vehicle to get to the cabin when you're already there.
Yeah, we're halfway there. I made it though.
That's something that should be disclosed in the renting of it.
You would think so.
Or did they just say that because of weather?
No, I mean the weather wasn't that bad actually.
Was it that steep or that bad?
It was pretty steep. Yeah.
Okay.
It probably would have been smart to have it, but I'm not very smart, so I use the Nissan.
Oh, okay. You're trying to save on gas.
We made it.
There you go.
It was a good thing we didn't take the dually. The dually wouldn't have made it.
Oh yeah, the dually's too wide for it.
Well.
Yeah, people make that mistake when they go up to Tennessee a lot of times when I watch, and I just laugh, and I'm like, idiot. Like,
but no, it was fun. It was enjoyable, relaxing.
That's good. Yeah, I've watched a bunch of vehicles slide down the mountain in Gatlinburg because they didn't have 4-wheel drive, and they got icy on New Year's Eve, and I'd sat there on my back porch of my cabin watching car after car just slide down and smack into, like it was the best entertainment I've ever had in my life. Kids screaming, wives crying, husbands yelling, SUVs just slamming into parked vehicles, almost going into cabins. I was like, this is the best New Year's Eve ever.
Yeah. The cool thing is, we went down to I think we went down to LJ to the Tractor Supply and got some deer corn and a camera. Went back to the cabin, set it up. About 30 minutes to an hour, we had deer all out front.
Oh, they were hungry.
It was cool.
They were hungry. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to eat right now this time of year. But yeah, anytime I go up the mountain stuff, I used to take a vehicle that I know that can get up or front wheel drive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's always fun to go up the mountain to get a cabin up there somewhere like that. I don't like doing it in the summer. Winter's better.
See, I like summer better.
It's more funner. It's cold.
No, I hate cold. Screw that.
Oh, come on now. I know my wife's like, when's it gonna stop being cold? I'm tired of covering my plants. I'm like, tomorrow, I think. The next day. I don't know.
Maybe.
Ask God. I was like, I was like, this is March. We still get another freeze right before the Masters tournament in April, right before Easter.
Yeah.
You always get one more. Just get ready. There's one more coming. There's some more freezing coming. That the little gopher didn't see his shadow or whatever he does or doesn't do.
I know we was watching an Amish show last night, and I'm like, it'd be so cool to be Amish, except I'm not living up north. And then I found out they had like a camp thing down in Florida, so I could be Amish in Florida.
Yeah, there's Amish in Florida.
Yeah, I can do that. I ain't doing the cold night.
There's an Amish sect in Florida. There's little sects everywhere. There's a sect in North. There used to be a sect in North Georgia.
That's still too cold.
I don't know if they're still there, but there used to be a sect up there
Yeah.
of them. I don't think it's quite as prevalent anymore. But yeah, Pennsylvania, they're everywhere up there where it's really cold. Yeah, they're up there where it's
Yeah, I ain't doing it.
I gotta go to Pennsylvania at the end of the month, so hopefully it'll be a little warmer.
Have fun.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I've never really hung out. I've been to Pennsylvania a couple of times. Actually, I got to go twice. I got to fly up to New Jersey, do a show in New York, and then I'm going to stay in Pennsylvania the next night before I go back to New Jersey to fly back. So, and then I got to turn around 2 days later and drive back up there to do a 3-day show, 3-day run of shows up there. So, anyways,
busy
good times, fun stuff, fun stuff, fun stuff. I got a show tomorrow night, the Panama City House of Bourbon down in Panama City, Florida. It's not much warmer there.
No.
Plus, you get that wind off the go. But I'll be doing a show. But,
that's a plus.
Yeah, so if you're down, anybody's down there, come on down. Come on down. We need some folks. Let's see what else. That's all you've been doing is anniversary and nothing new.
Not really. Just anniversary. Trying to get caught up on everything.
Caught up on what?
Waiting on warm weather to catch up on outside stuff.
Oh, like what? What outside stuff?
Cutting the field and all that crap.
Oh, see, that's boring.
I like it. It's my relaxing time.
That's boring stuff. That's boring stuff.
Well, when you sit on the tractor for like 5 hours, just yourself, nothing else.
I used to do that when we lived in South Fayette County. I mean, when we had like 2.5, 3 acres, that was nothing but grass. It took me 2.5, 3 hours to cut the grass on a riding lawnmower. I'm done with that. That is not fun to me anymore. That is not fun to me anymore. Now I started, and I hired a grass guy to cut my yard here, and then I ended up having to let him go because he started complaining about the backyard because I had it redone, with a pool and everything. It's a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I built an 8-foot fence opening so you can get in and out. And he's like, it's too hard. I'm like, huh? I'm like, you're on a freaking 0-turn machine. I'm like, I'm not looking, just buzzing. I mean, like, so I said, you're done. And now I'm back to push mowing the yard. I'm like, God dang it.
That was the one thing about the mountains. Like, I looked out and I'm like, what do you do?
What do you mean?
There ain't no lawn care because you can't do crap because it's steep.
Oh, yeah. No, so you don't. No, you
just stay in a cabin. You
don't have to do
watch
nothing.
TV.
Yeah, you just stay. Yeah, that's. Yeah, you stay in there. You drink some moonshine, get hammered, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's all you do and eat. Sit around and eat, and then that's it. That's mountain
I'd be so
life.
bored.
That's mountain life.
That's too slow.
Some people like slow. I don't know. I mean, yeah. I agree. I couldn't do that. I'd go nuts. I couldn't do too slow. I mean, hell, we did a year of slow, and it got me in a weird zone. It took me a while to get out of.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get. I think I'm finally out of it. I call it the 2020 funk, where we just got into a weird bad habit of sitting around.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to do stuff around here. We try to be active, but it was just like.
Well, there wasn't a point in it.
No, there wasn't.
Because even if you got it done, what are you going to do then?
Right. Well, we had all our money wrapped up in the pool, too, when we were building the pool, because we had contracted the pool before everything happened.
Yeah.
And then it hit right as we were started that. So it was like, we had that going on. So we're like, we're broke. We can't do anything else.
Yeah.
We're just going to sit here. I mean, we could have organized the house better, but we did not. But we're doing it now. We had some shelves this past weekend. I got my merch and design studio set up, and everything's organized. And I got a new printer for more stickers. So now I got 2 printers, and So I can make merch. Now I can make merch on a bigger level, and I can make merch for other people if they need it. So
Yeah.
So fun times. Try it because I need to make money somehow more than what comedy's paying. Comedy's paying pretty good, but I need more shows. So anybody out there needs some more shows. But need some more shows. I've got I got a decent bit right now. I'm not complaining, but they're going to run out. They always run out.
Yep. Run out or cancel.
Yeah, so I gotta start. I've got some in April, but I need some more in April, and I need to get May on the board in June and all that. So it's just weird how all that works. But anyways, so let's talk about this a little bit. So you heard the SV whatever B bank folded, right?
Yeah.
The little crypto bank.
Imagine out.
Well, they screwed up, man. They bought a bunch of bonds, and then at 1.2, 1.5%, which secured the money, was there to secure the money, and then they went and sold a bunch at a higher interest rate. And when that happens, you lose value on those bonds. And all these guys are going to pull money out, and then they're selling off their backing at a higher interest rate, which you're like, what? And they're like, well, yeah, they're losing money as they're selling.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you kidding me? This is banking 101.
Yeah. I seen somebody pulled out, what was it, 1 billion or some crap.
Yeah.
Some crazy amount.
Well, it's just like that crypto that collapsed, that VP STX, whatever that stuff was. That other guy's ex-partner business, whatever that guy, their nemesis or whatever, went and pulled out like something billion, yanked the rug out from under him, and he was over here Ponzi scheming it, basically taking money and then playing with it in the stock market and losing it like an addictive gambler.
Yeah.
So all the profits, he's just basically taking. All he was doing is He basically was doing what builders used to do when I sold builders, robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
Once I called a builder telling me that he's paying me off of 2 houses down draws, I'm like, whoa! You need to pay me off the house of this draw. Where's that draw money? Oh, you've already spent it. We got a problem. When you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, like, it eventually catches up, or you got to slow down to let it catch up.
Yeah, exactly.
He was just too stupid.
And if you think by now we would have learned this crap.
Well, these younger kids don't understand this because they don't listen. They know everything. They know business. They know everything because they're smart. A lot of them smart because they grew up with computers. They're a lot more tech savvy than a lot of us, and mathematically, and even writing code. I'll give you that. Yeah. But common sense and what has happened in the past and what goes on and still goes on. And I mean, basically history repeats itself. Human nature repeats itself. Human nature is human nature. It does the same thing over and over. They just don't want to listen. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to know about it. And as soon as I start talking, they shut down and go, oh, well, this asshole don't know anything. Oh, I'm sorry. I was making 6 figures when I was in my 20s and 30s, when I was your age. I wasn't sleeping at my mom and dad's house. I had built 2-3 houses. Yeah. Not to brag, but I was doing something.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'll flex a little bit and be like, look, let me give you a little education. Let me help you out here. Let me heads up. I had this conversation with somebody the other day. I was like, you can't rob Peter to pay Paul. I mean, you can maybe once or twice here and there to kind of, all right, I got to juggle this, but then you got to kind of hit the brakes. What happens is you do it. Oh, that was easy. You need to do it. And then something happens. That's how a lot of builders folded in 08. That's how a lot of business folded in companies. Companies I worked for folded in 08 because of that. They were getting too out ahead of themselves. It's that greed thing. It's like,
looking for that American dream.
Look, man, when times are good, they're good, but they're not good for a long period of time. You've got maybe a 3 to 5 year window sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it has gone to 8, which is a scary cycle. But sometimes it's got to pull back and it's got to stop. And when it stops and you're too far out ahead and you've gotten too fast out there, and we learned that in 08. So when I started selling with my in the flooring business with the 2 guys that started their own flooring company that used to do my flooring when I was and they're like, "Hey, come on with us. It'd just be us three selling." And I was like, "Okay." And we all sat down and had a meeting. We're like, we're not going to repeat. Nobody's going to repeat 08 here. We're going to make customers pay 30 days. If we get builders, they got to pay within 30 days. We don't go past that. We don't let nobody get 45, 60 days in our pocket. We're not going to rob Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
And they were very open. They go, this is how much money I have drawn out. This is how much money's in the account. So we got to be real careful right now as we order and all that. We don't get too far out, and too much into somebody's pocket. So we were very all conscious of that as we were selling. So it's like we sell something and it's like, okay. And then we're like, I can't get that far out until we got the business going. It only took us 6, 8 months to a year to really get the money cycling. But we were like, let's not go get any more loans. Let's not borrow against the house. Let's deal with what we got.
But people ain't got the patience for that no more.
No. And it was
got to happen now.
And it was tough because at that time people were getting, and they were like wanting it. We were like very selective, like, oh, it's like, I'm going to start with you, but I'm only going to do this many houses with you right now. They're like, why?
Yeah.
We got to start this relationship slow. We're not all going to run back into 08 again. And some people were like, okay, I agree. But then it only took 2-3 years. We're all doing good and making money, and everybody started slipping back into that. I want 60 days. I want 90 days. I want to. No, stop. And as soon as I started seeing that, I was like, we're done.
Yeah.
We're done. Walking away.
Yep.
Because it's very easy.
Yeah.
To follow that, but it is what it is. But the good news is that bank is separated from pretty much central banking as a whole, so it's not going to. It doesn't have any sleight of hand. I made a comment on Reddit the other day saying, you never lived through 08, grab your butts, it's coming. And it was in a talk about that, but it wasn't directly about that bank. It wasn't about that bank.
Yeah.
So that bank's totally different than the centralized system.
Yeah.
The centralized and those people that were in the banks had billions of dollars to put into hedge funds and investments and apps and tech. It was all a tech junkie thing that, crypto, all that stuff. So luckily they were separated because like the banks that you and I hang out and deal with don't have a bunch of billionaires sitting around doing that if they went and pulled out a couple of guys that would crash the bank, and kind of crash away. So no, we don't have, but do we have a problem coming? Yes.
It's coming.
There is a problem coming.
Yeah.
There's a problem coming down the pike, and we all see it. And those that have lived through it, we all see it coming because of inflation and everything else. And it's going to happen. Now, it hadn't happened yet. I predicted it was going to happen by now. I was wrong. It's dragging out and taking a little bit slower and longer because we keep printing freaking money. If we stop printing money, it's going to be a problem. But at the same time, we're overloaded with cash. When you're overloaded with cash, that's when you get inflation and high prices. So it's a very, very thing. And I don't want this podcast thing to be an economics lesson today, but Jesus Christ, it's just like I'm just sitting here tapping my foot, shaking my head, going, God, when's it going to happen? It's about to happen.
It's scary waiting on it.
Yeah.
Because you know it's coming, but it's like, okay, when?
Exactly. That's what I was talking to my wife the other day. We were paying some bills and trying to pay some stuff off. I said, look, let's not get cash poor again, ever. Let's not get cash poor, liquid, cash poor. It's like, let's pay off these couple of things, get this done. Out of way, stop spending money on these certain things just so we're kind of locked and loaded and just kind of safe.
Yeah.
And not sitting here, cash poor on anything. And we've got some things so we're already kind of had just like we did in 2020 when we got rid of some cars and some other things, right? Like 3-4 weeks for everything hit. And luckily got ourselves secure. So we were A-okay. We just basically sat and rode the ride.
Fun ride.
So anyways, it's crazy. It's absolutely insanity, but I'm scared to see what's going to happen. Scared. Yeah, but we'll see. We're all going to be there.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you a dumb question. It's not a dumb question. So I don't think we've talked about this before, but I've been wanting to talk about it. I'm going to get an expert on here or somebody out here in this field because we're going to talk about it more.
It's just me in here. Where's the expert?
I know it's just yes. I'm going to get one.
Oh, you're going to get one. Okay.
Not today. I'm going to go get one.
Okay.
I'm going to work on getting one.
All right.
But just to kind of start the conversation on this one, to lead into a further episode down there where we've got somebody who's kind of into it. What's your thoughts on this UFO stuff? Because more and more stuff's coming out. They're saying more. Do you think it's a distraction, or do you think it's real, or what is your thoughts? Because there's stuff coming out every day, more and more and more. What's your thought? What you think?
To me, it's a distraction.
Oh, 100%.
But it's also real.
Okay.
We can't be the only thing in this whole world.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, there's got to be something else.
I agree with that statement 100%. Even if you are a strong religious person, whether you're in the Bible, whatever, God never said in the Bible, we're alone. Never said we're alone.
Yeah.
Never said it. Said there was angels and other things. So was that demons? Is that aliens? What is that? Or is the Bible based upon what has happened and all this stuff with aliens visiting us? But never once does it ever say
that there ain't nothing.
We're alone. Yep. Never. It does not say that. So just taking that, just being open-minded across the board, and now there was a thing yesterday I read, or I went down a weird rabbit hole. Went down a rabbit hole because there was an article. It's like, there's a mothership out there sending these probes in and out, and that's what these things are, scanning and probing. And then watch this other thing, just like, because they're still talking about there's areas in Alaska, the Alaska Triangle, and areas that nobody can access the gravity and everything. You get up there and weird stuff starts happening too. Like humans can't get in within so many yards or miles or feet of this thing without shit going sideways. And apparently there's a base there or whatever, or there's something there coming in and out because people see stuff. And so I found this thing, and I should have brought it on here, but I didn't. It's a YouTube video of a Fox News thing. I think it was Fox or CNN. It was one of the two major ones, and they were talking about. They're like, we believe that there's a bigger ship sitting out just right in our solar system.
Yeah.
That we believe we've directly located that is sending probes in and out of here watching us. So I'm like, that's an interesting thought.
Or either they're just out there watching our Dish Network.
Yeah, well, yeah, well, they've already seen how stupid we are. But anyways. So, and more and more stuff keeps getting, because, the stuff's getting more and more stuff's released. So I believe there are, and I believe there is. Now, to what extent, I don't know. I'm very curious. What, and I hope they do come out, because there's no doubt there's something that has been here, and more proof is coming out. More and more things are coming out.
They can just come to see us. We'll drink some beer, throw a bonfire, have a blast.
Well, here's the thing. There's a couple of theories here, okay? Because, all right, let's say there is another intelligence, another whatever that's smarter, more advanced than we are. Obviously, they're more advanced because they can travel in space and get in here and hang out and do all kinds of stuff that, obviously.
Yeah.
But, because they say, the sightings of these crafts and all that started around the 40s and 50s when we let go of the nuclear bomb, the little fat boy and all that. We started nuking everybody and testing. All of a sudden, these things start showing up.
Yeah.
They said that's when it really started. Even though there's been stuff in the past, they believe they as of today, in today's world, started coming more and more. And it's like, there's a couple of theories. Like, they don't want us to destroy the Earth because they need the Earth. This is a refueling station. This is a station where they're getting energy. They're doing things. They're
getting dumb people.
They started this habitat. They started this thing that they don't want to go away for whatever reason. Even though we've found other planets like Earth and other solar systems. So the question is, do they need this planet in the solar system? Because there's other ones out there that they go to, and are they developing them? Are they using energy? What's the thing? Because theories are that they're here to make sure we don't hit the button and go popcorn on ourselves, which is a very possibility.
Could happen.
Oh yeah, it's a very possibility. We got nuclear warheads and all this stuff, and we got idiots up there where they could just push a button at any time, which is a scary thought. So it's like they're saying, hey, we don't want y'all to pop off and do anything stupid.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like I don't believe it's going to be like one of these friendly encounters. I think we've already had an encounter, and it was like, we're here to do this, and they're like, whoa, you can't do this, and there was some weird agreement. Somebody believes that.
Well, wasn't there some like hieroglyphics type of stuff back then?
Oh, we can go back.
So that's what I'm saying. So did they come then, make a peace treaty, and we've screwed it up?
Well, I think they were visiting us for a long time. Well, see, here's the thing. I think they were visiting us for a long time because there's a lot of things that were built thousands of years ago. More and more stuff we're finding that we know we can't reproduce. I mean, things that weigh like boulders and
pyramids,
building blocks. Yeah, well, yeah, that's just one example. But you know, like these headstones that weigh like 8,000 or 9,000, 10,000 pounds.
Yeah.
We can barely move with the equipment we have today as a somewhat advanced society. Then you go back in time and you go, how did these knuckleheads do it?
Yeah.
And there's things that are intricate. I mean, to like almost you had to have a laser to cut some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And they didn't have lasers back then.
No.
So, you know, so yes, I believe we were cultivated. Now, it says the world has started over numerous times. And if you believe in the Bible, you talk about, you know, when God said he flooded the earth and got rid of the earth. Well, guess what? We know that happened. We know the earth got flooded. We've got proof of it on some of the sphinxes and things like that the world did flood and based upon soil things. So it's like the world got wiped out. What I believe, and it was a race of giants at one point that I think they were manipulating, like they could have manipulated and created. And the oxygen level in the world was a lot higher then, which created things to grow and grow bigger. So people and humans were bigger.
Yeah.
The Smithsonian destroyed all those bones. So we can't study those bones because we're a bunch of knuckleheads. They're like, it's going to freak people out. Well, if freak people out, how about we figure out what was going on or try to figure out to go forward? And I believe they flooded and restarted Earth. Now, there is a theory that the moon was placed artificially. The moon we have artificially was never there, and it was placed in between us and to create a better atmosphere. And that's where the floods came from. Now, I don't know if that's totally true. And I don't know if I'm 100% on that board with that, but I do agree with the fact that I believe we were restarted a couple of times. We were restarted a couple of times. But now whether it's their involvement or not, I believe it was their involvement.
Yeah.
I believe
it's gotta be.
I believe the Bible parallels way too much with what we're figuring out what's going on or what has happened. And it's basically the best history book we could ever have. And that's the way I look at it, is the best history book we ever have. And you got to look past the pages sometimes to see what's going on. So it's very interesting. I could go down this rabbit hole for a while. So and Ancient and Skinwalker Ranch is coming back on tomorrow night. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited.
No, like you said, there's too much that we don't know.
Oh, beyond too much we don't know. There's just too much stuff. There's too many things we don't know. Too many things. I mean, we can't sit here and think we're the smartest and best and species of a planet out there. You just can't.
I might be.
You might,
but others ain't.
Look, you got to watch it. And, you know, they may come check you out. Be like, hey, man.
They want to come on.
How do we get millions of followers on TikTok? That's what they're going to come find you. They're going to say, hey, Jody, how do we feet find?
Yeah.
That would sell a lot. Alien feet.
Do
you not think?
Good. It could. It could.
I'm just saying. Have you
sold first alien feet?
Have you sold your feet?
No.
Why not? You're like an ambassador. You should be selling feet.
An ambassador.
You're an ambassador, whatever you are. I don't know what you call it. I love how these knucklehead bots reach out. You want to be an ambassador for us? Oh, by the way, pay shipping. We'll ship you our crap.
Yeah, I've gotten about 100 of those. We'll give you one free product if you buy these 3.
Yeah. No.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. No.
I had one. It was buy 2 and they give you 5 free. I went and looked at it and shirts were like $300.
Yeah. How about you just advertise?
Yeah,
How about you just sponsor the show? Just sponsor the
yeah,
show.
exactly.
Very affordable. It's very affordable. Very affordable. We're growing. It's affordable. And then when these knuckleheads one day do want to, if it ever gets big enough, they go, hey, and I'll be like, you know how much it's going to cost? $1 million.
Yeah, that price done went up.
What? Yeah, we weren't somebody. Now we are somebody.
Yeah, we talked about aliens and got famous.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That's some good stuff.
So what'd you do last week?
What did I do last week?
I don't know.
Well, I didn't have a show anywhere, so that was the weird part. That was the first week I haven't had a show in the last couple of months, so it was weird. It was kind of nice to be around the house, but it was weird. I felt like I was like I needed to be somewhere. I kept going. I'm supposed to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I worked on the Oval. I worked on the TV show The Oval. They called me in to be a National Guard, so I sat on out at Tyler Perry's studio for 2 days, Thursday, and then they called me back Friday. So I made some money just sitting around drinking coffee and watching Netflix.
It's always a plus.
They ended up not using me and like 20 other people that they called. Actually, the first day they had like 50 or 60 of us. They barely used like 10 of us. We sat there for like over 12 hours, which is fine because we got OT because we were over 8.
Yeah.
And they were paying some good money, so I was like, I'll go sit over there. And he's not directing this season, so and I didn't realize that till I got there. So it was a lot slower than he normally. You know, he works like a freaking maniac. I don't know if you've ever worked with him. He is a freaking machine.
Yeah.
So I knew it wasn't going to be a long day, and then it ended up being a long day because the director that's managing it now just is a little bit slower, just a little slower pace, which is fine. It's not a big deal. Everybody's got their own style. So and it wasn't bad because I think our call time was like 10 o'clock. Got out of there like 11. And then they messaged me like 3:30 in the morning. It's like, hey, can you come back? I'm like, what? And they go, we're come back at 5:30. It won't be overnight. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay. So I went back for the money.
Yeah.
They brought back 10 of us and didn't do nothing with us.
It's amazing.
I made money.
Yeah.
So I sat around and made a good paycheck. Made as much, if not more, than I would have done comedy sitting around on set for 2 days.
It's crazy that they even budget that crap in there. And they do it all the time.
They have to budget in there. And they also have to have a certain amount of local hires.
Yeah.
So, and I'm glad to be one of those to make a nice little paycheck. It's fine with me.
I know. I need to start looking back into it, I guess.
Well, you know, here's the thing. We had a long talks and you come up in those conversations a lot about, well, no, just about SAG and about the rules and everything, how it got weird 2020 and all this vaccination bullshit and how we're still testing, which is fine. We're still COVID testing, but we still got to wear a mask on our face every time we're inside. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know, and then they're still asking for vaccine status and vaccine cards on all these submissions. I just don't answer them.
Yeah.
I just send my stuff in. Like, if we're testing, we're testing.
Yeah.
And some of them have gotten like, it's not that big of a deal, but they still have to ask. And I'm like, no. But then some of them are like, if you're not working on this. I'm like, y'all need to slow your roll.
Yeah.
Because y'all can't be, you know, that's what we talk about because some of these guys that are coming in that have moved here to Georgia because obviously they're chasing the thing because it's all here.
Yep.
And then I'm sitting there going, you need to be careful because here's what went on. Here's what's been going on the last 2-3 years around here.
Yep.
We've been busy, you know, now it's, you know, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, but they really just need to back off that.
Yeah.
But they're the only ones not letting go of it.
Something's got to give.
Ones, you know, it's like, how can you say I can and can't be employed when no other company or entity in the world is doing that anymore or can do that legally anymore?
I mean, even China's opening back up.
But yet, if you want to come work on this TV show or this movie, you better have 4 or 5 shots.
Yeah.
And we're going to tell you if you need another one.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, it makes no sense to me.
I'm like, whatever, man. I'm like, I have no problem y'all wanting to take those, you know, You want to swab? Swab all you want. Let's
Yeah.
take a test. Fine, good, no big deal.
Yeah. Well, like I told them, swab me, take the money from it. I don't want the money.
Right.
And I'll work.
Yeah. Well, they just don't want to hear that people can't medically have it. Oh no,
Yeah.
everybody can. No, you can't. No, they can't. And now people, you see that one rapper that fell off dead off the stage?
Yeah.
I read a thing. He fell off dead off the stage, and they haven't said why. And I said $5. It's cardiac arrest.
Yep.
They're going to settle on cardiac arrest, and they're going to shut up and go. Don't ask any more questions.
Yep. You're going to start seeing a lot of that.
Are you kidding? We already have.
Yeah. Well, a lot
We
more.
already have. Did I talk about this before? The princess in China that fell down in front of God and everybody on TV and has been in a medical induced coma. That's a side effect from taking it.
No, I've not heard this.
And Thailand is all up in arms, and they've got scientists that have figured it out and proved it, and they went on record on TV on 2 major channels. It's been pushed down, but you can find it on the internet. You can go and find it, but it's being suppressed. And they are pissed off, and they are coming after Pfizer for up $10 billion and all the money they spent on the medicines. And they want it all reimbursed, and they want our heads.
Yeah.
And South Africa is also putting together a class action lawsuit against Pfizer and against us as well because of side effect related issues a lot of young people are over there having.
Imagine that.
When I say younger, I say in their 20s and 30s. They're having massive issues, massive side effects.
Yeah.
Reactions. So it makes you wonder, what did they ship over there versus what was over here?
Exactly. There's got to be a difference.
Oh, they got people on it.
Yeah.
They are, man, and to say that this will be the thing that kicks off everybody hating against us, and then they already are. Now all they're going to do is use it to circle the wagons.
Yeah.
That's all they're going to do. Use this.
So what language are we going to
learn? We won't, because we won't be here. I won't be. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
full. I'm gonna go full Wolverine, full Red Dawn. Not holding back. If we're gonna go, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna go. Let's go. That's all I'm saying.
And how many other people are out there like that, ready to go?
Well, there's a bunch.
Yeah, exactly.
Not enough, unfortunately, but those will get weeded out fast.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying, yo? Anyways, get off this weird tangent I got down. All right, so I found this article. It says worst TV shows of all time, according to TV Guide, apparently.
Is that still around?
That's what I said. I think they just said that in the headline to get people's attention.
Oh, okay.
But TV Guide used to be reputable, even if it was a guide to what was on TV.
Such a cool guide.
Yeah. So there's 50 things, and then we're gonna start off at number 50, which I couldn't agree with this even any more than they could. Take a guess what number 50 is. I know there's a lot. There's a lot of TV shows. Just think across the spectrum of everything you know in sitcom from the 70s, 80s to now, or when you were born. Because you weren't quite born in the 70s like me and Mark. You were born a little after.
I was 82.
Yeah, 82. But still, you know the realm. You know the
realm.
You've been introduced to all this stuff. So number 50. It's a child. It's a kids show. Okay, I'll give you that. It's a kids show. I'll give you a hint. Take a guess.
Kids show back then.
Kid show. Across the spectrum, 70s to now. A kid show that was very popular. One of the
Clifford.
No, it's a kid's show, not a cartoon. Kid's show.
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 Okay. Oh no. There's so many of them.
I know there's so many now.
Yeah.
But it was really big at one point in time before we got in the 2000s. Barney and Friends is number 50 of top 50 worst shows.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
No, exactly. It doesn't surprise me. I hated that show.
Yeah.
And then they came out with Teletubbies, and then
That was even worse. Wiggles.
Yeah. Oh God, the Wiggles were horrible. I wouldn't even let my kids watch. I was like, "What is this nonsense?
Yeah.
What is this?" And now that's what we have is a whole generation of that type of.
And now they're rebooting Barney.
Are they rebooting Barney?
Yes, they're rebooting Barney.
Oh, that was so bad. Number 49 on the list. It was a spinoff of a very popular late 70s, early 80s TV show set in California with a few friends. It was a spinoff of the landlords of this
How's
show.
the landlords?
The Ropers. Remember Three's Company?
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Roper. And then they did a show. There was a spinoff show, just the Ropers, and it was horrible.
Okay.
They thought they only lasted 2 seasons. Fun fact. Number 48. Number 48 what was the name of the show? What it comes there? What was this? This one, I don't know why they did this. I kind of do, and I kind of don't. I think this comedian was he was one of the first comedians to ever sell out arenas. He was very big in the 80s as a dirty comic, and then they stuck him as a family man on a TV show that only lasted 16 episodes. Number 49, it was Bless This House with Andrew Dice Clay as the father. I barely remember that. I think I remember 1 or 2 episodes because it was weird because he got so big. So as a raunchy, dirty comic in the 80s and selling out. He was the first to sell out Madison Square Gardens. He sold out for like 4 nights in a row. First arena comedian. And then it was kind of like his stuff was kind of going downhill because it's basically all just nursery rhymes and he did a lot of singing, and he wanted to be more of a singer than he did a comedian, but he was a very good comedian, and that stuff just kind of went, and he didn't really write any more stuff. So as it was kind of going down, they're like, "Oh, let's get you in the TV," and he was like, "Yeah," and then they stuck him as a dad on a TV show. Like back then, you didn't stick somebody who was known as the dirty children's rhyme comedian into the clean, wholesome, family dad, it's like whatever. Let's see. Number 47, Rango, nobody's gonna know that one. I don't remember that show. Gary Marshall. See, that was the thing. There was a show. Do you remember BJ and the Bear?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember that show? Remember there was a big thing about orangutans and chimps being in TV shows and movies.
Yeah.
Like Any Which Way But Loose with Clint Eastwood. There's a big thing in the late 70s and 80s. And I don't know why, how that came about. It just came about. It was entertaining for us kids because we were like, "Oh, Maggie, there's a Maggie.
Yeah.
It's in the front seat of a truck. This is awesome." And that was one of my favorite movies of Clint Eastwood, is Any Which Way But Loose with Clyde. He just left Clyde, and Clyde would just knock somebody out.
Yeah.
We'll see what else. I haven't even looked down the list. I was trying to make the list a little bit of a surprise for me and for you, because I was like, "Oh, this would be good." But there's some shows on here I don't even recognize. Oh, they said number 42 was The Flying Nun. Do you remember watching The Flying Nun?
A little bit.
With Valleyfield. That used to come on channel 17 during the day if you were homesick.
Yeah.
You had to watch that because it was the only thing on in between Days of Our Lives and every soap opera. You're like, there's not that on.
The Price is Right's over.
They said number 41 worst shows of all time was the Tom Green Show. Remember Tom Green?
Yeah.
Canadian. He had some sketch comedy and all that stuff. I could agree with that. I wasn't a very big fan of that show.
His was a bunch of hit and miss.
It was hit and then a lot of miss. It was hit and miss. But his comedy was kind of hit and miss too.
Yes.
His comedy stuff.
It still is.
Still is. He went away. He's starting to kind of put his toe back in the circle, but he pulled away. But he was like one of the first guys I ever kind of created podcasting because he would do it from his home, had all these computers before it was ever synthesized into anything.
Yeah.
Anything. And he was kind of already doing it. And it wasn't called back. It was just people were like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just talking to people from my couch. Had all these computers and everything. Everybody's like, what the frick is this?
Yeah.
And nobody knew what it was. And then it eventually became podcasting, you know. And so he was way, way ahead of the curve, which he looks back and goes, if I could stuck with it, he goes, I might have been the number one podcasting, but he did. But Joe Rogan got that idea. A lot of his ideas when the podcasting kind of came around because he had already been introduced to Tom Green's house. Like, what is this? And then he was like, oh, okay, that's what Tom was doing. But okay, we can do it with computers with a lot less crap. And then just kind of fumbled his way into it, you know. And to this day, he's like, I still don't know why you know, popular than I just bring people on here I want to talk to, which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Saturday Night Live with Howard Cosell's number 37. I'm trying to get to the top 10. That's what I'm trying. But this is one of those you got to click. You only give you 2, and then you got to go click to the next screen. They give you 2 to the next screen instead of the list.
And then remodel your bathroom 5 times.
Oh my God. So many freaking clickbaits and everything. I'm trying to get to the top 10. I should have already just queued it up, but I didn't think it was going to take that long. I thought I was just going to be able to blow through this. And of course it backfired on me. There are some shows on here. I don't even know what these shows are. I don't even recall them. And I'm pretty good about stuff because I've gone back and watched stuff in the 60s, 50s, 40s. Like I was a junkie for that stuff for so long because I was, you know, wanting to go and film and entertainment. So I explored everything.
Yeah.
Homeboy. Okay, there was a show. I missed this one. Number 31. This one caught my attention. Homeboys in Outer Space. There's some white dude, a black dude on a rocket. Derry Bell and Flex Ander were known commodities during the 90s. Okay. I guess I wasn't paying attention in the 90s. I guess it was when I was in high school. Whether it was television or film, the duo had been comedic fixtures for young generations. The network UPN decided to pair the duo on a sitcom. 2 of them were astronauts. Somehow the show only lasts 20 episodes. The low ratings, obviously. Because didn't know about it. So I guess, something. Okay. Interesting. A show I never, you know, it's like.
I wonder who even put that out.
It says UPN. It says it was on the UPN station.
Okay.
It says it was on UPN.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
that makes sense.
Number 29, Howard Stern. Now, yes, 100% I can agree. One time he was one of the hottest DJs, everything. He was against the system. Now he is all about the system. He's Mr. Woke, Mr. Just conformity out the ass.
Yes.
I mean, I am very disappointed in him.
Yeah.
But hey, he made his money. He got there, and now he's like, no, now I'm a millionaire, and I'm going to be like all these pricks I hated.
Yep.
And used to preach against and make fun of.
But that happens all the time.
You just see people for who they are.
Yeah.
Look, I get some money, some whatever. I just want to be financially secure and have a good career, having fun. I don't have to be the most famous guy. I don't care about fame. Fame doesn't pay the bills. There's a lot of famous people that are broke. Okay, let's be honest about it.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of famous people that are broke.
Yeah. That's like everybody coming up to me. You're famous, and I'm like, okay, and
famous means zero.
Yeah.
It means nothing. You can still be the most famous person in school and still not get a date to the prom. I mean, it's like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Life with Lucy. Yeah, when she was like 70, and they decided, we'll just keep putting a show together. She can be the grandma now. Okay, now we're getting into some shows. All right, we're getting into the top 25 now. One of the boys. Oh, I remember that show with Dana Carvey, and I think that lasted like Dana Carvey and Nathan Lane had a show. They were paired up on the show back in the 80s, and it featured Mickey Rooney. Yep, I remember the show. It lasted like 2 episodes, 3 episodes. It's called One for the Boys. It came up in a thing. It came up in a. It was like a pilot thing, and then it just did something, and then they both went on to do other things like Saturday Night Live and everything else. Sammy and Company, I remember that. Okay, I'm hoping the top 20 is better than what this is. Now I do remember. Is there a show that you remember? Number 21. Guess what number 21 is? It's a very famous 90s show.
Saved by the Bell.
Close. Baywatch.
Baywatch. Yeah.
Baywatch 21. I can agree more. I couldn't watch that to save my life.
Yeah.
Couldn't watch it to save my life. It was just geared towards 10 and 12-year-old boys and with chicks in bathing suits.
Yeah. And it was long and drawn out, stupid, all through the episode.
Oh, the plot lines were horrible.
Yeah.
I would rather watch soap operas than Baywatch. Oh, soap operas than Baywatch. Oh, guess what number 19 is?
What's that?
The PTL Club with Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. Ran for 14 seasons, the Christian faith-based show. Had solid success. I think the show was beset by scandal. Yeah, we all know. And he's dead. She's dead too now, isn't she?
I think so.
She died too. She got cancer from all that eye makeup is what it is. That's what that was. They thought she was dead. She was actually alive. It just her eyelids finally just glued together. And they buried her alive. Okay, here's going. Number 16, I could agree with this. The Chevy Chase Show. Do you remember the Chevy Chase Show? He actually had a talk show.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Yes, it was.
Over. I don't know who talked him into doing that.
Probably himself.
I think it probably was. Oh, this was a good show. I used to like this when I was a kid, but it was a pretty rough show. It was a pretty bad show. But I was like, I think it was like 8 or 9 or 10 when it came out. Manimal. Do you remember the show Manimal in the 80s? The dude would always turn into like an eagle or a panther or something.
Yeah.
It was just so weird. And we were just, I don't know why we were engrossed in it. It was right before Street Hawk and Knight Rider came out.
Yeah.
They had Manimal. You would just go around turning into like cheetahs and panthers and hawks. And
then we wonder what's wrong with us.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like, but there was nothing else to watch. We didn't have cable.
Yeah.
We didn't have cable. I mean,
and we're worried about kids turning into kitty cats now.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, but they weren't furries. They would actually F people up. They would actually serve a purpose. They'd eat somebody.
Yeah.
There's nothing like watching a panther eat somebody. Somebody turn into a panther and the panther eat another person. That's good, wholesome fun, right there.
Especially at nighttime.
Oh, that's good, wholesome Thursday, Friday night fun. That's good. I think it came on Wednesday and Thursdays. Yeah. The Hee Haw Honeys. That was a horrible. Okay, we're in the top 10. Number 10 was the Hee Haw Honeys. Remember they had Hee Haw, and then they took all the chicks from the Hee Haw and put them on a show together, and it failed miserably.
I liked Hee Haw.
I didn't. It wore on me because I had to watch it at my grandparents every time I went over there for the weekend because they had it on every Saturday night or Friday night, whatever it came on. It was like, we're already going to church tomorrow. Do I got to sit here and at least listen to them sing gospel songs and go? The comedy was horrible. It was just stupid setup and punches.
Yeah.
I mean, it was popular. All right, number 9, the Jackie Gleason Show. I thought it went on. Yeah, it lasted 20 years. It can't be a top. It can't be a worse. It had too many.
Yeah.
It went on way too long. Cop Rock, and that was pretty horrible. Do you remember Cop Rock?
No.
Okay, me neither. But I remember the title.
Yeah, I mean, the title. I'm like, yeah.
I remember the title, and I remember, but I don't. Celebrity Boxing's number 6, which I could agree with that. That was pretty.
That was horrible.
That was pretty. We're reaching for it, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Well, there was a time in MTV they were reaching for anything and everything. They didn't know what to do because they stopped playing music videos.
Yeah.
Which they still have. It's just no longer music TV. And they were just like, what do we do here before reality TV took off?
Yeah.
Which reality TV, Road Rules was the kind of one of the first things that really kicked that off. Hogan's Heroes is number 5. Some millennial put this bullshit together.
Yeah, I think so.
Because some of these shows, the Brady Bunch is the Brady Bunch hour. Yeah, I remember that Brady Bunch hour. It was a weird spin-off hour thing. And it was very bad scripted. Okay.
Yeah.
The XFL was number 3. XFL was not bad. We actually got some decent. Who put this together? Like I'm about to figure out who put this together. And we're about to blast them. Well, in the last 5 minutes of the show is what we're about to do. Because this is the worst put together. I thought this was going to be fun. This is the worst put together. And by the way, the XFL is coming back. Okay, it's by Entertainment by Joe Giusto. Joe Giusto. I'm going to find out who this knucklehead is because this dude is an idiot.
How old is he?
I went to something thought was going to be fun and interesting. To flat out idiot. I could make a better list than this, and I'm going to make a better list of this and come back and show you how to do an article right. You don't put shows in there that were successful for 14 seasons plus.
Yeah.
I agree with Barney. It was a pain in the ass and it was an asshole, but he had a very long career.
Yeah.
But yes, it was annoying. But no, that all I kind of get. You know, a couple of those other ones I get. But Jesus. Really? The XFL. Moron.
I just want to know his age.
I'm going to find out.
There you go.
Here, let's find out right now. I bet I can find out before the end of this daggum hour. Watch. I'm going to find out. Now I'm pissed off. Now I'm just irritated because I fell for his bullshit.
You ruined my childhood.
Yeah. So, yeah. Hold on. He's not an author. What do you call him? And what would you say he is? What an ass? An idiot's what he is. Okay. Joe gets on Twitter.
Is he a fact checker?
I don't know. I'm trying to make sure there's not 18 of this guy and pull the wrong guy. It works for Entertainment New Arena. So he's a writer. I guess that's what you'd call him, as a writer. Another writer for Entertainment. This dude has got me pissed. Put together a list that believes the top 25 songs. Oh, he's got another top 25 of something. Oh, he's got another top 25 songs of all time. Let's see how horrible this is, Joe. Let's see how horrible whatever you put together. Like, literally, I think he just slap crap together and gets paid. I could do this better than him.
Yeah.
You know what? I might do this just on the side for fun, just to show him how horrible he is. Oh, no, this is the greatest songs ever created. The greatest. Now he's down into the greatest. Apparently, he's a freelance guy that just puts these lists together. Okay, I found him. Is this the dude? Yeah, he looks like a douchebag. This is him. Find a great. No, that's not him. No, is that him? Is that the dude? Says he's dead, and I hope so, because I'm going to go dig him up and tell him he's an asshole. He better be. No, because this one's in 2022, so this is the wrong picture. Oh, I get a picture of Ted Lasso. Okay, I'm going to find this guy. And we're going to bring him on and tell how much of a knucklehead he is. He probably won't come on.
Probably not.
I wouldn't either. Joe is a writer for Entertainment Center. Okay, here he is. Reflected. I'm going to find him. I'm going to find him on Twitter or something. I'll find him.
He's got to have a best president list, too.
Oh, and there's other ones. He's written other things. Top 20, what is it? 25 songs of all time. Then there's another one he wrote for, like he wrote for the Daily. It's like he's like a freelance
writer
guy, and just sends them off and sells them to whoever buys them. Whatever idiot one has nothing to publish that day.
Yeah.
And this guy probably went to school for this. He went to school and got a degree for writing or something. Oh, yeah. No, that's not there. So I'm going to find him. I'm going to figure it out. Because that was stupid. That was, Joe, that was the worst thing ever. I know he's not listening. Nobody's listening. But if I find you, we're going to have a talk.
I mean, like I said, Barney can't be that bad if they're rebooting it.
Right.
Just saying.
The XFL wasn't bad. The XFL was just underfunded. And Jim McMahon and everybody was skeptical because they thought he was going to turn football into wrestling. But actually, he created something that was actually very good.
Yeah.
It was useful, and there was several guys that came out of XFL that went into the pros for a couple of years, were picked up by some teams that really showcased some guys that were looked over coming out of college and that just didn't make the list. And then all of a sudden they developed because they kept training, and then they're like, "Holy crap! Here's a guy." And they brought, I forget, there's like me and a buddy of mine were just having this conversation about the XFL. And how this is probably the best thing they could bring, because it's almost like you're watching amateur baseball, but amateur football in a smaller, hard hitting. And some of these guys just come out and become stars. And look, if you want to beat the hell out of each other yourself and keep going and see what you can prove, great. But it was a good training ground, and it was like a AAA. It was like a little AAA thing, but we could actually watch it.
One thing is, I liked it because it wasn't all about the money.
Right, and it wasn't faking like over cheesy and so, and everybody was scared he was going to make it like wrestling, like over the top. And it wasn't that way. It wasn't. It was completely. It was football, but in a smaller, more compact area. You didn't, and more faster pace. So I liked watching it just here and there. I wasn't like a big fan of any one team, and I was like, man, this is too good. And of course, it went away. But now, Dwayne Johnson, Rock, putting money into it. He's got enough money, even the pockets, to keep it going, because that's really what you needed.
It needs the money.
And it ran out of money. That's what Jim McMahon did. He ran out of money, flat out. I mean, he was honest about it. He's like, I've run out of money, and this thing's great. And it was just really getting going too.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. I kind of remember reading a little bit of the backdrop, but I can't remember all the details, and I don't want to butcher it. But it was very interesting, and I was kind of disappointed when it went away.
Yeah. Yeah, because just as it started peaking and going away is when I kind of was like, hey, this is kind of neat.
That's when everybody started kind of grasping, and that's what happens with anything like that. It takes a couple of years to get things going, especially when everybody's like, you're trying to. They weren't trying to compete with the NFL. They were just trying to say, hey, look, there's guys out here that have just as much talent. That want to bang, that are still going out there after and still want to chase their dream. I'm going to give them a shot and let them go in here, and we're just going to do it on a smaller field. We're going to make it a little faster, well, actually a lot faster, and kind of a little bit more, bang, 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 kind of deal. And that's what he did.
Yep.
So, anyways, all right. Anything else you got going on coming up? More feet, more B. How are we doing on our cameos? Thank you. Almost.
Cameos doing. They're doing good. They're kind of peaky at times, but they're still coming in.
They're still going.
Still going.
Are you doing any St. Patrick's Day ones? Did you do the St. Patrick's Day special?
No, we've not.
Man, you should put one up there for a couple $100. Put like a nice prize with like $400 or $500. You do something like whatever, but then you got some other ones. But because I guarantee you'll sell one or two of those. Somebody, I'm telling you, you gotta hit it while it's hot, bro.
We're trying.
Gotta hit it while it's hot. St. Patrick's Day. Oh, we didn't even talk about St. Patrick's Day. It's coming up Friday. It's my favorite holiday. It's a holiday for alcoholics. Is what it is.
I was excited. What is it about?
I love corned beef and I love beer. I love corned beef and beer, and your camera just went away. We're not looking at your feet. Stop trying to make me.
Sorry.
I love a day where we can just drink green beer, sing stupid songs, and eat corned beef.
Corned beef is corned beef.
Corned beef is amazing. Do not tell me you don't like corned beef.
You gotta have a lot of mustard.
Of course. You gotta have spicy mustard.
What? Yes.
Reuben now have a lot of spicy mustard with it. You can't just eat it
lots.
raw.
Yeah, lots. Like what? Just cover.
You obviously haven't had good corned beef.
Stir it. Cover it some more.
You haven't had good corned beef. You obviously have not had good corned beef. I'm going to make some corned beef. I make amazing corned beef. I love corned beef. I usually go to New York. New York does St. Patty's Day big up there. They have big parades. It's a big thing between all the 5 boroughs. New Jersey. Everybody's having a good time. It's just stupid food. It's cold. Yeah. It's kind of like the way I look at it. It's like the kick off the spring and the FU to winter. Like, bye, see ya, get the hell out of here.
No, I like that.
It was fun while it lasted. we're giving you one last day. We're going to drink. It's going to be a little cold, a little chilly, but get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. And I get to, and basically you get to the day. It's a day to go drink your face off, and you don't get in trouble, and you don't get anybody mad at you. Which sucks because I don't drink as much as I used to, and I'm gonna do one or two Irish car bombs. Day's over. All right. You be good. Y'all be good. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. We'll be back hopefully next week. I'm out of town Thursday, so we'll have to do another early. We'll talk about that. But anyways, we'll see you guys. We will be back next week. We'll have another episode. Thank you. Like, share. Follow us, Midget Mafia OG on TikTok. Midget Mafia USA, OGUSA.com. Is it .us?
Midgetmafia.us.
Thank you. And AndyGunnin.com.
There you go.
Yeah. Y'all be good. I'll try to find the button that okay, here's the button that turns the show off. Okay, bye.